Chosen one, Archangel Michael is speaking to your spirit right now because a financial shift is already moving toward your life, and this message reached you at this exact moment for a reason. This is not something you are meant to scroll past casually. Heaven has been watching every silent prayer you whispered when money felt tight. Every moment you stayed strong while carrying financial pressure that nobody around you truly understood. And every night you wondered how things would ever change. Archangel Michael says the weight you have been carrying is not meant to remain on your shoulders forever. Something that has been blocked for a long time is beginning to move, and the financial breakthrough you have prayed for is closer than you realize. Before we go any further, type Amen if you believe heaven is opening financial doors that no person can shut. For a long season, it may have felt like your efforts were producing little return. You worked hard, stayed patient, and continued trusting even when your circumstances gave you every reason to feel discouraged. There were moments when you questioned if your prayers were being heard at all. You watched others move ahead while your own progress felt delayed. And there were times when fear whispered that nothing would ever shift for you. But Archangel Michael says what looked like delay was actually divine protection. There were blessings assigned to your life that could not arrive until the right season, because if they had entered too soon, they would have come with distractions, wrong connections, and instability you were not meant to carry. Heaven was not denying you. Heaven was preparing you. What is coming now is different because it carries alignment. This financial shift is not random luck or temporary relief. It is provision with purpose. It is being released at the exact moment your spirit has matured enough to handle it wisely. Archangel Michael says the reason you have felt unusual restlessness lately is because your spirit can sense movement happening behind the scenes. Doors are opening that you cannot fully see yet. Opportunities are being positioned. Resources are being arranged. Conversations are aligning in your favor. What once felt impossible is quietly beginning to unfold. You must remain calm during this season and resist the urge to panic or overthink what you cannot yet see. Archangel Michael is preparing your heart before the blessing arrives, because peace is how you will recognize what is truly from heaven. This sudden financial shift will not come through fear or confusion. It will arrive with clarity, direction, and quiet certainty. But the reason this blessing was delayed for so long is something you must understand deeply. Because once you see why heaven made you wait, everything about your struggle will finally begin to make sense. Chosen one, Archangel Michael wants you to understand clearly that the financial delays you experience were never meant to punish you. Even though there were moments when you felt forgotten, abandoned, or emotionally exhausted from constantly trying to survive, heaven was still protecting your future in ways you could not yet understand. There were seasons when you prayed desperately for financial relief, asking God to remove pressure from your life because you felt tired of carrying so much uncertainty alone. You watched bills pile up, opportunities fall through, and plans collapse at the last minute. Meanwhile, it seemed like other people moved forward easily while you remained stuck in cycles of waiting and frustration. But Archangel Michael says if certain doors had opened too early, they would have brought people, distractions, and situations into your life that would have damaged your peace instead of helping your purpose. What felt like rejection was often protection hidden behind closed doors. There were also internal changes that needed to happen before this financial shift could safely enter your life. In earlier seasons, fear had too much control over your decisions. Stress affected the way you thought, the way you trusted, and the way you viewed your future. Sometimes your spirit operated from survival mode instead of peace. Archangel Michael says heaven needed time to strengthen your discernment, deepen your wisdom, and heal the emotional exhaustion that years of struggle created inside you. Because financial blessing without emotional stability can quickly become another source of pressure instead of peace. This is why certain opportunities disappeared, why certain plans failed, and why certain people were removed from your life, even when you did not understand it at the time. Heaven was teaching you how to carry provision responsibly before releasing greater increase into your hands. Type 777. If you still believe your delay carried a hidden purpose, you must also understand that some people had access to you during seasons when your spirit was still vulnerable and emotionally drained. If financial success had entered your life while you were still surrounded by the wrong influences, some individuals would have attached themselves to your blessing for selfish reasons. Archangel Michael says part of the delay involved separation. Certain relationships had to fade. Certain environments had to lose their hold on you. Certain emotional attachments needed to break before heaven could safely move you into this next season. Looking back now, you may realize there were people who only valued you when you were struggling, because your struggle made them feel comfortable. They expected you to remain dependent, uncertain, and emotionally available no matter how little support they gave you in return. But heaven was quietly teaching you boundaries, discernment, and emotional independence during those hidden years. There were nights when nobody truly knew how much pressure you carried internally. You smiled around others while privately wondering how everything would work out. You prayed quietly about money because you felt embarrassed discussing the weight you were carrying. Sometimes you even questioned your own worth because financial struggles slowly began affecting your confidence. But Archangel Michael says none of those tears were unseen. Every moment you chose to keep believing despite disappointment was strengthening your spirit in ways that are now preparing you for stability. Your endurance built wisdom. Your waiting built patience. Your loneliness deepened your connection with heaven. This is why your breakthrough now carries a different kind of energy than temporary luck or emotional excitement. It carries alignment. What is entering your life now requires a stronger version of you than the one who first started this journey. The old version of you may have lacked discernment around money, relationships, or emotional boundaries. But the person you are becoming now understands the importance of peace, wisdom, and intentional movement. Archangel Michael says you are no longer meant to operate from panic or desperation. That survival mindset is slowly leaving your spirit because heaven is preparing you to live from stability instead of fear. You may have already noticed subtle changes within yourself recently. Your thinking feels clearer. Your intuition feels sharper. Your energy around money feels calmer than before. Even though you may not fully see the breakthrough yet, your spirit already senses that something is shifting. This is why you must stop viewing your past delays as proof that heaven ignored you. Those closed doors protected you from situations that would have distracted, drained, or destroyed the peace God ultimately wanted for your life. The waiting season built emotional maturity inside you that money alone could never create. And now, because of everything you survived, you are entering this next chapter with deeper wisdom, stronger discernment, and a spirit that has been refined through endurance. Archangel Michael says the financial shift approaching your life is not arriving randomly. It is arriving at the exact moment your mind, heart, and spirit have finally become prepared to handle what heaven has been holding for you all along. Chosen one, Archangel Michael says the financial shift entering your life did not begin in your bank account first. It began within your spirit, long before external results started appearing around you. The reason heaven has been working internally before moving externally is because lasting provision requires a transformed mindset, not just temporary opportunity. For a long time, financial fear controlled your thoughts more than you realized. You carried stress constantly, worried about how things would work out, and often felt trapped in survival mode emotionally. Even when small blessings arrived, anxiety made it difficult for you to fully experience peace because your spirit had become conditioned to expect struggle. But Archangel Michael says something has been changing quietly inside you over recent months. Your thinking is becoming calmer. Your reactions to pressure are becoming more balanced. And your relationship with money is beginning to shift away from fear and into wisdom. This internal transformation is the first sign that heaven is preparing you for a new financial season. You may have noticed that your energy feels different lately. Situations that once caused panic no longer shake you the same way. You are becoming more careful with your decisions, more intentional with your time, and more aware of where your energy is being drained unnecessarily. Archangel Michael says this is not accidental. Heaven is strengthening your discernment because financial increase without wisdom can quickly disappear through emotional decisions, unhealthy relationships, or lack of discipline. The old version of you often carried pressure emotionally and reacted from fear whenever uncertainty appeared. But the version of you emerging now is learning patience, strategy, and emotional control. You are beginning to understand that true financial peace is not just about having more money. It is about no longer allowing fear to dominate your spirit every single day. Type ready if you already feel something shifting internally around your financial life. There are also subtle opportunities beginning to align around you now that may not seem major at first glance. New ideas may suddenly come to your mind. Unexpected conversations may begin opening doors. You may feel drawn toward learning new skills, changing habits, or exploring directions you previously ignored. Archangel Michael says these small shifts are important because heaven often begins transformation through quiet movement before visible breakthrough fully appears. Many people miss their season because they expect miracles to arrive loudly while ignoring the smaller signs of alignment happening around them daily. But your spirit is becoming more sensitive now. Your intuition is sharper. Your awareness is stronger. And because of this, you are beginning to recognize opportunities that your past self may have overlooked completely. The financial shift approaching your life is connected not only to provision, but also to clarity. Heaven is helping you see differently so you can move differently. At the same time, Archangel Michael warns you not to announce every step during this season. Not everyone around you will understand the changes happening within you, and not everyone should have access to your plans before they fully develop. There is power in quiet progress. There is protection in moving without constant explanation. Some people only support dreams once they become successful, but heaven says your assignment right now is to protect your focus before seeking recognition from others. The more you stay grounded internally, the more stable this financial transition will become externally. You no longer need outside validation to confirm what God already placed within your spirit. Silence is becoming part of your protection now. You are also beginning to release old survival habits that kept you emotionally trapped for years. The constant overthinking, fear-based decisions, and exhaustion from always expecting struggle are slowly losing their hold on your spirit. Archangel Michael says this is one of the biggest miracles happening in your life right now, because abundance starts with internal freedom before it becomes external stability. If your spirit still lives in fear, even blessing can feel stressful. But heaven is teaching you how to receive peace without guilt and how to trust provision without expecting disaster to follow immediately afterward. This process may feel unfamiliar because struggle became normal to you for such a long time. Yet the more your mind aligns with peace, the more naturally you will begin attracting opportunities, connections, and decisions that support the new season God is building around you. Most importantly, Archangel Michael wants you to understand that this financial shift is deeply connected to your identity. Heaven is not simply changing your circumstances. Heaven is changing the way you see yourself. You are no longer the person who must constantly beg life for stability while carrying shame about your struggles. You are becoming someone who moves with wisdom, confidence, discernment, and emotional balance. This is why the shift started inside first. God needed your spirit to become stronger before your external reality expanded. And now, because your thinking, energy, and emotional foundation are changing quietly beneath the surface, the opportunities approaching your life will begin aligning in ways that feel more stable, peaceful, and purposeful than anything you experienced before. But as this blessing gets closer, you must also understand why certain people may react differently once they begin noticing the changes happening around you. Chosen one, Archangel Michael says one of the biggest lessons you must learn during this financial shift is that not everyone around you will celebrate your elevation with a pure heart. As your energy begins changing and your life starts moving into greater stability, people will notice even before you fully explain anything. Some will sense the confidence growing within you. Others will notice your peace becoming stronger, your mindset becoming clearer, and your presence carrying less desperation than before. And while certain people will genuinely feel happy seeing you rise after everything you survived, others may quietly become uncomfortable watching your life move in a direction they never expected. This is why discernment is becoming extremely important in this season. Heaven is not only blessing you financially, heaven is teaching you how to protect your peace while walking through increase. There were people who became comfortable seeing you struggle because your struggles made them feel secure. As long as you remained uncertain, emotionally exhausted, and constantly worried about survival, they never felt challenged by your presence. Some individuals only liked the version of you that needed approval, constantly overextended yourself, or stayed emotionally available no matter how little support they gave in return. But Archangel Michael says your spirit is changing now. You are becoming more grounded, more selective, and more emotionally aware than before. And this shift will naturally expose hidden intentions around you. Certain people may suddenly become more curious about your life. Others may begin reaching out after long periods of silence. Some may even act supportive while secretly struggling with jealousy, comparison, or discomfort internally. This is why heaven keeps reminding you to move quietly. Not every person returning to your life deserves full access to your new season. Some people are attracted to your energy now because they sense movement happening around you financially and spiritually. But attraction does not always equal alignment. Archangel Michael says you must stop confusing attention with loyalty. The same people who ignored your struggles may suddenly become interested once opportunities start appearing around your life. And while forgiveness is important, wisdom is necessary too. You do not need to become cold toward others, but you must learn the difference between genuine support and emotional attachment disguised as support. Certain connections were removed from your life because they carried distractions, limitations, or unhealthy energy that could not follow you into this next chapter. Type protected. If you believe heaven has been separating you from the wrong people for a reason, you may also notice that your silence begins affecting people differently now. In the past, your quietness may have come from insecurity, exhaustion, or emotional pain. But now your silence carries confidence. It carries peace. It carries emotional control. And because of that, some individuals no longer know how to approach you the way they once did. They can feel that you are no longer operating from desperation or seeking validation from everyone around you. Archangel Michael says this quiet strength is part of your protection. The less you explain every move, every plan, and every opportunity, the more focused your spirit remains. There is power in allowing things to grow privately before exposing them publicly. Many blessings lose momentum because they are shared too early with people who carry doubt, jealousy, or hidden negativity in their spirit. As your financial season begins changing, you must also guard yourself against the temptation to prove something to others. Sometimes when people have struggled financially for a long time, they secretly desire recognition once things improve. They want the people who ignored them to finally see their value. But Archangel Michael says your breakthrough is not meant to become a performance for outside validation. The goal is peace, not pride. The goal is stability, not showing off. Heaven did not bring you through difficult seasons just so your blessing could become another form of emotional insecurity. Your growth should make you calmer, wiser, and more grounded, not more desperate for attention from those who failed to appreciate you before. There is also another reason why heaven is asking you to stay emotionally balanced during this shift. Financial increase often reveals the true intentions hidden within relationships. Some people will celebrate your growth genuinely because they always carried love in their heart toward you. Others may become distant because your success forces them to confront insecurities they never healed within themselves. And some may attempt to stay close simply because they hope to benefit from what is entering your life. Archangel Michael says, observe carefully without becoming fearful. You do not need to distrust everyone, but you do need discernment. Pay attention to who supports your peace consistently, not only when opportunities appear around you. Most importantly, remember that this financial shift is connected to something much bigger than money alone. Heaven is teaching you how to carry abundance without losing your peace, your wisdom, or your spiritual alignment. You are being prepared not just to receive provision, but to sustain it responsibly. And as your life continues changing, the people around you will naturally reveal where they truly stand in relation to your growth. Some will grow with you, some will watch from a distance, and some will quietly fade away because they were never meant to walk beside you into the season heaven is preparing now. Chosen one, Archangel Michael wants you to understand that the financial shift entering your life is not simply about money. It is about restoration, stability, peace, and finally leaving behind the survival mindset that has followed you for far too long. For years, you carried pressure that nobody fully understood. You worried constantly about the future, overthought every decision, and silently carried emotional exhaustion from always trying to hold everything together. Even during moments when you smiled around others, there were private battles happening inside your spirit that nobody could see. But heaven says the hardest part of your journey was never meant to last forever. The seasons of struggle, waiting, disappointment, and uncertainty were preparing you for this next chapter, where peace will begin replacing fear, little by little. This is not temporary luck. This is alignment finally arriving at the right time in your life. Archangel Michael says, many of the prayers you thought went unanswered were actually being stored for the correct season. There were blessings assigned to your future that required patience, wisdom, emotional maturity, and spiritual preparation before they could safely enter your life. Now, the version of you standing today is stronger than the person who first began praying for breakthrough. You have learned discernment through disappointment. You have learned endurance through pressure. You have learned faith through uncertainty. And because of everything you survived, your spirit now carries a depth and wisdom that could only be developed through experience. Heaven is not just changing your finances. Heaven is changing your foundation. Type I receive. If you are ready to step into the season Archangel Michael has been preparing for you, you must also stop speaking negatively about your future based on what your past looked like. One of the biggest things heaven is healing inside you right now is the belief that struggle will always follow you. After carrying financial pressure for so long, part of your mind became conditioned to expect disappointment before anything even happened. But Archangel Michael says your future cannot fully open while your thoughts remain trapped inside old fear. This is why your spirit has been changing internally first. Heaven needed to teach you how to receive peace again, without immediately expecting loss to follow behind it. You are no longer meant to wake up every day controlled by anxiety about survival. Stability is becoming part of your new season now. even if it still feels unfamiliar to your spirit at times. As this financial breakthrough continues unfolding, you will begin noticing changes not only around you, but within you. Your decisions will become calmer. Your thinking will become clearer. Your energy will feel lighter, because constant fear will no longer dominate your spirit the same way it once did. Archangel Michael says true abundance is not simply having more money. It is having peace while handling what God places in your hands. Many people receive temporary increase, but still carry restless spirits internally. Heaven does not want that for you. This blessing is meant to create balance, stability, and emotional freedom alongside provision. You are learning how to live without panic controlling every step you take. There may still be moments where old doubts attempt to return, especially when life feels uncertain or unfamiliar. But Archangel Michael says, do not allow temporary emotions to speak louder than the transformation already taking place within your life. The version of you that constantly feared failure is slowly being replaced by someone more grounded, disciplined, and spiritually aligned. You survived the hardest seasons already. You survived moments where you felt emotionally drained, financially exhausted, and mentally overwhelmed. Yet despite everything, you are still here, still standing, still moving forward. That endurance was building the strength you now need for this next chapter. You must also remember that heaven never intended for you to carry every burden alone forever. Part of this financial shift involves releasing unnecessary emotional weight from your spirit. The pressure to constantly prove yourself, the fear of not having enough, the exhaustion from always worrying about tomorrow. These burdens are slowly leaving your life because God is teaching you how to trust provision instead of living in permanent fear. And the more your spirit accepts peace, the more naturally this new season will unfold around you. So move forward now without shrinking yourself out of fear. Stop doubting whether you deserve stability. Stop believing your past struggles define your future permanently. Archangel Michael says your life is entering a season where things will begin aligning with greater clarity, peace and purpose than before. Opportunities will appear. Doors will open. Guidance will come at the right moments. And while everything may not happen overnight, the shift has already begun. Continue protecting your peace, staying grounded spiritually, and trusting the process heaven created specifically for your journey. Because this financial breakthrough is not only changing your circumstances, chosen one, it is changing the entire direction of your life.